You are the manager of an EdTech service provider. Everything goes well and your business is growing. Now you are going to calculate the LTV per customer and understand how you can optimize your product. At some point, it becomes clear that you have to start building your data analytics, because Excel and Google Sheets is not enough anymore. And so you spent like a couple of months to create a solution. You even thought about hiring a data analyst, but you didn't succeed. And you started to think, to hell with it. Probably I don't need these analytics at all, and you return back to your favorite Google Sheets. Analytics is a tool for you as a manager to actually grow your business. There is a bad news and a good news. And the bad news is that not everyone can build it properly. You will definitely meet some challenges on the way. There is also good news. We have learned all the pain points and classified them a long time ago. So today I'm going to tell you what are the main challenges you potentially meet on this journey and how you can solve them. Because we spent a lot of resources doing this with our EdTech Analytics Roadmap project. This is YouTube channel Valiotti Analytics. Subscribe if you want to learn more about how data analytics, neural networks can improve your business. At the very beginning, people are just trying to build a company. They are looking at how to attract new students and investors, or just how to make a lot of money as quickly as possible. So they are trying to rapidly grow and not worried too much about the data they have. And this is the number one issue which occurs in 90% of cases. Let's break it down. Your e-learning platform is looking for new students and new marketing channels to attract them. Once a certain student clicks on the ad and fills in a form, he leaves some information about his phone number, email, or some other contact information. At this stage, you as a business owner receive new data about a potential customer. Still, however, this is an unknown user with unknown variables. But you know that he came to your website from a certain marketing channel, right? From social networks, from search engine, or from somewhere else. And so you need to combine all this information together. You need to merge these identifiers from a traffic standpoint and from the form data to create a unique user ID. And this is just the beginning. There is one more issue that arises. When a user fills out the form, it seems like he gave some permission for school to store his information. Mostly, it's some personal information like name and surname, and usually this type of data is stored in the CRM system. CRM is beneficial for sales managers who want to contact potential students and to sell them services. They also try to get some extra information about potential customers' preferences. For example, that the customer is interested in English course, or what is his dog's name, to use it in informal conversation. And so you have a new task here. You have to merge three data sources. Data about the traffic channel, contact information, and the data that the sales manager filled about the customer in the CRM system. And so, at the end of the day, if the customer buys a course, he becomes a student. He starts the course, he completes the homework, and now you get some information about his retention, how frequently he studies, and so on. And so you get another identifier in the internal learning management system. The school needs to analyze where and when the student came from, how much revenue he generated, how many actions did the sales manager perform to make him a student, and which channel led him to buy the course. There are a lot of touch points with our client that you need to merge and combine. We call this creating a one key user identifier. Using this identifier, you can collect all the data and say, you spent 10 cents on his click and he bought courses for 10k USD. That's how great you are. This is the big task, and most online schools, they don't want to solve it at the beginning. But when they grow and develop their product, they start to think, how can we optimize the market efficiency and the product? Do we make right decision, or should we start counting different things in our systems? There are several solutions, but the most important is to merge all systems with each other. For example, when a customer comes from Facebook, you have to store data in the CRM system about his traffic acquisition. Usually, marketing specialists use so-called UTM tags in URLs, which could be available then in the CRM system. And so then, in the CRM system, now you can see that the user came from Facebook, from a specific marketing campaign. Then, when the lead becomes a student, it is a great idea to record his user ID from the learning management system and keep it in the CRM system as well. At this point, magic begins, because you link data between your internal systems and your external systems, such as CRM. Afterward, you need to define rules on how to enter the data. For instance, the rule on how to enter telephone numbers. Let's say +1 000 347 988, etc. That is 10 numbers without brackets, hyphens, and spaces. But why do you need this? Because if you need to link user data by phone number and all the phone numbers you have are in different formats, it will be very hard to achieve. And so you need to keep data about phone numbers consistent. When these things are done, you need to decide, do you need to keep one phone number or several? For instance, you work with online school where children studied. And so children are not actually payers. Payers are their parents. It becomes obvious you need to store several contacts, one of the parents and one of the students. This makes our task even more complex. And there is no universal solution. You need to take into account the specifics of the school. But these two things I talked before suit everyone. That is the correct mask of the telephone numbers and linking the identifiers and UTM tags into the CRM system. The second issue is that you collect data manually and you don't know how to automate it. The school buys advertising and wants to collect the data about the efficiency of marketing campaigns and how many clicks they brought. To do so, you have to log in into business managers of the advertising platforms such as Facebook. Then you need to go to Meta Business Suite Analytics and see the data about your marketing campaigns. Usually you can save the data in Excel format and make some operations with it. Well, for example, you can compare data about current and previous periods, or for example, you can compare different marketing campaigns. Sometimes you have different platforms, say Facebook and Google, and they store their data in different places. To compare them, you need to download two different Excel spreadsheets and then merge and combine them into one beautiful spreadsheet. This manual merging of data from different sources takes a lot of time. You may make a lot of mistakes, and a person who is responsible for that could quit, and you will never know how he did it. We had several cases where the company lost their manager who had combined all their files together, and it led them to being unable to analyze marketing data. Now, suppose your marketing manager doesn't plan to quit. Still, he should be working on the traffic acquisition. Instead, he spends 80% of his time connecting data in Excel. Ineffective. Automation is the best solution. So what is the solution here? Most often, all business managers of advertising platforms have their own API. It's a kind of a protocol where you can write some code and ask API. Say, give me the data about marketing campaigns for the last 3 months. And then API will give you some information in automated way. So instead of a responsible person, you ask API to give you the data. You can do this regularly, continuously, and with frequency you want. Who should build this system, you will ask? This should be either data engineer in your team or an outsourcer. Can you make it only once and expect that reporting will come automatically? This is hard to answer. First of all, you need to understand in which formats, how often you need to collect these reports, and who will monitor that the data collection was successful. For this, you need a so-called data orchestration process. You will also need some data testing process to check that the data has been saved in the database and it's correct. There will be less manual work, but you still have to do some quality checks. The third issue is you want to migrate from Excel to better tools, but you don't know which ones. The question arises, where to migrate? Will it be handy for me? Some customers say, we did our research and our DevOps deployed Metabase, and now we are trying to figure out if it's suitable or not. In fact, there are a set of tools that can be considered. They are all a little different. Each has its own limitations. For instance, you have to pay for the software, but on the other hand, you have open source solutions. For example, there are Tableau and Power BI. They are cool, they are super helpful with great data visualization options and interactive dashboards, but you have to pay for the license, as well as you use open source solutions. You need to deploy them on the server, monitor them, and you need to have some skills to do it. But there is no risk in terms of money. In our side project EdTech Roadmap Analytics, we use all of these tools and help our customer to choose the best option. We can tell you what are the pros and cons of each tool, and together make a decision which one is better for you. Then we can create one key user identifier and automate data collection for marketing analytics. Hit the like button if you got an idea how to solve your daunting problem. If you want to set up custom analytics or analyze the efficiency of students' learning, please follow the link in the video description. This is my EdTech Roadmap Analytics project, and we already have helped 10 online schools to achieve great results. It was Valiotti Analytics channel. Subscribe and see you in the next videos.